on. The Blazers took over and dominated at both ends of the floor. Tonight, a healthier Boston Celtic team travels west for the rematch against the well-rested Blazers. With Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal from Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon, the great Northwest, and we have the Beast of the East and Best of the West matchup here tonight. The Boston Celtics with 45 wins and Portland with 45 victories on the season. Now, it's been an interesting week of contrast for these two teams. Since Portland's win last week at Boston, the Celtics have won 3 in a row. Portland has had, in a scheduling quirk in the NBA, the entire week off. And Hubie Brown, the first question is, does the week off help them with rest, or does it make Portland stale?
Really a good matchup with Terry Porter. Now, when you think about Porter, you're thinking about someone off the dribble. Ken Shaw, move laterally with him and guard him going to the basket. If it cannot, we'll see D. Brown early.
Now, matchups in this game always significant. One of them will be really interesting from a Portland point of view. That's Buck Williams, who has 2 matchup problems.
Yeah, it's tough because he has Larry Bird early outside. Must take him with the passing and cutting and guard for the 3. When McHale comes in, this is their #1 problem. How to guard McHale in the low post. Now, when you look at another one, there's a real good one out there. Gamble versus Kersey. Sunday, Kersey 23, Gamble 4. A big change.
And the Portland Trailblazers have beaten the Boston Celtics the last 4 times these two teams have played. Celtics haven't won since '89. We'll be back here with Portland and Boston, but right now after this, Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Memorial Trailblazers, as we watch that, let's take a look at the lineups for tonight's ball game. First of all, for Boston, remember they are on a 3-game win streak. Larry Bird and Kevin Gamble at the forwards. Robert Parrish, the cover boy in Sports Illustrated this week. Reggie Lewis and Brian Shaw back from his sprained ankle. You'll be seeing a lot of action from D. Brown, who filled in so well at the point guard position. D. Brown, the rookie out of Jacksonville, and Boston coached by Chris Ford. And this is kind of a matchup of the NBA All-Star coaches. Chris Ford and Rick Adelman matched up in the NBA All-Star game. 2 of the young coaches making their marks in the NBA. And for the Portland Trailblazers, the best team in the NBA at this point in terms of record, Buck Williams and Jerome Kersey. Kersey back from that calf and playing himself back into game shape. Kevin Duckworth at the center. Drexler and Porter, 2 of the better guards in the league, will handle the guard positions for the Portland Trailblazers. And Rick Adelman, a member of the original Trailblazers, his 3rd year as head coach here, with a 67% winning percentage. So we have the Portland Trailblazers and the Boston Celtics. The officials, Jack Madden, Bob Delaney, and Joe DeRosa. And Hubie, there's something about Portland, this current group of Portland players the last couple of years, and Boston. Portland seems to have their number. They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah, but that's because the Celtics have been struggling. I realized last year the Celtics were 52-30, but the year before they were in a period of adjustment without Bird. So naturally, you're going to, when you are as quick in the open floor and you can rebound as well as Portland, you could handle the Celtics no matter where the games were, home or away.
So Larry Bird, as you look at him right now, in 42 minutes in the Los Angeles Clippers win their last game, had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, etc. 3-point land. He is 27 of 49 in the past 6 games. And Bird is on fire as a 3-point shooter, but Portland's the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA coming into this ball game, even though they're in a minor 3-point slump right now. We will have Jerome Kersey and Robert Parrish jumping in at center court. These are 2 teams who have about as good a chance as anybody of playing in the championship of the NBA when the playoffs are all said and done. Boston and Portland, their second and final meeting against each other this year. Duckworth gets the loose ball, and Portland with the first chance to draw blood.
Portland always plays their best with quick movement.
The jump shot from 18 feet away from Kevin Duckworth. All the way to the hole goes Kevin Gamble, who makes Portland pay early. By the way, a 3rd-round draft choice of Portland back in '87.
Well, when you're watching Portland play now, they're an excellent post-up team, but their strength is their 3-point shooting.
Kersey answers. It's 5-2. Kersey
talked about him. He's had a calf injury. You see the red stocking on his left leg as you look at him over there on the left side above his stockings. That's in pretty good shape coming into this game.
Now, in last Sunday's ball game, Portland did an excellent job defending not only Gamble, but Reggie Lewis.
5 seconds to shoot. Parrish
Doesn't get it to fall. 9-2. You don't see him miss many of those short turnaround jumpers.
In a ball game like this, you're wondering who is going to get the most easy shot.
There's an easy shot attempt off the dribble. Terry Porter with the penetration.
That, to me, is the big key. Can Shaw play Porter off the dribble?
Gamble over Kersey. Tough shot.
Hey, Gamble's telling us, hey, forget about last Sunday. This is a new day, and I'm doing my dance here.
There's that matchup you're talking about. Kersey and Gamble. Larry Bird guarding Buck Williams. Shaw on Porter. You saw Porter drive around it. That'll be an early thing we'll watch, is how Shaw with his tender ankle will do in that situation. Rebound off the Porter miss goes to Boston.
Now Boston must take advantage right there.
Great pass from Shaw down to Gamble.
If Portland is if they're going to shoot the threes and miss, you catch that long rebound, you're going to be able to get out in the open floor. The Celtics must convert and get many easy baskets. They did not in the second half in the past Sunday.
It's Gamble 6, Portland 4 so far.
Good matchup here. They do not double team Duckworth. They feel that Parrish can play him by himself.
The duck hook doesn't go down. The bounce pass to Williams is kicked by Boston. That'll be a violation and an inbound play.
We have two excellent low post people tonight in Duckworth versus Parrish. They both have more than one move. They can give you 4 different looks, turn either way, throw the fade away, but you always must be careful because they both can shoot the jump hook in the lane.
Kersey to Drexler. Spins inside of Lewis. What a play, and draws the foul. Reggie Lewis expecting Drexler. The matchups in this game are fascinating. It's what makes these games so interesting. And that Lewis and Drexler will also be a beauty to watch.
Well, Drexler's on the line now. He has a tendonitis problem in the rotor cuff area of his right arm. Now, you say, well, gee whiz, how's he been doing? Especially during that 5-game where everyone was questioning whether or not they could play. Well, all he did was average 10 rebounds a game and scored over 20-some-odd points. So I think he was holding up his end.
Some tendonitis in there. Plays tough. Bird inside to Parrish.
Good call. Good call. I mean, this is going to be a test tonight of the Celtics half-court offensive game. It's something which they must be able to free their key guys in their best shooting percentage areas. And this is a good test because of the Portland quickness.
Porter open. Inside to Duckworth, who couldn't handle it.
Parrish saved it. Back to Gamble. There's Shaw. Make it Lewis. And he gets the reverse lay-in.
Main thing is when you're out on the road, can you keep up this pace for 48 minutes, especially in the building of a team that wants to get the game up at 120 points.
2 high-scoring teams.
Yes, indeed. 2 of the top 5 we have in the league.
Duckworth down low over Parrish.
I love his low post game. He shows me a lot.
Boston back quickly. Lewis drops the jumper over Drexler. 10-8 Celtics. 8:41 to go first quarter.
It's almost by design, but
There's Kersey inside.
well, at both ends. Kersey's doing at one end. Lewis and Gamble are getting shots at the other.
9-10. Larry Bird has yet to shoot in this game. Lewis open this time, and he throws it again. So Lewis has 6 and Gamble has 6. That's all 12 of Boston's points.
They're working on Lewis in the half-court game to get him on the curls and get the shot opportunities.
Well, with the rebound, the first game back since the sprained ankle in the game against Portland. Kicks it out to Lewis, who drives the baseline. Lost the dribble out of bounds off Portland with 18 on the shot clock.
I'm coaching Portland tonight. I do not like my transition defense. The Celtics are running us into the floor here in the first 4 minutes. Just think about it. They've had 4 uncontested fast break layups.
Bird will inbound the ball. Bird, an outstanding inbounds passer from this position particularly.
Well, the other thing is once he steps inbounds, watch out, like right here.
Like here. He draws Duckworth out. Goes to the left hand.
Oh, yes, but it was on the money.
12-10 Boston. 7:52 to go first quarter. Duckworth from 17.
He has a beautiful offensive game. For a guy who doesn't get that many shot opportunities. He only gets 12 or 13 a game. He shoots a high percentage. He can hit just as well facing as in the low post.
Lewis wide open. There was a defensive mix-up on the part of the Portland Trailblazers. Lewis gets an easy lay-in.
Yeah, I like the Celtics strategy. They're going right at Drexler. They know he has a sore shoulder. He does not want to take any body contact on the picks. They're forcing him to come through picks. And then Lewis is saying, I'm putting it down on the floor.
Kersey spins into the lane. He draws the foul from Gamble. And that'll be his first personal. Gamble, who was a third-round choice of the Portland Trailblazers. Portland had 4 rookies on the team that year. He did not make it. Rick Adelman said that as he looks back on it, they, of course, wish they had him. Well, easy to say that.
Yeah, absolutely, because he went into the CBA. He excelled there. He played in the 6'5" and under league for Chicago. He even played a month in Manila, worked his way back, and you have to give the Celtics credit because hey, he didn't sparkle right away. You know, he was there for a year before he got his time.
That's Gamble again. Gamble with 8 points in the first quarter. 16-13, Celtics leading by 3. Buck Williams goes to the left-hand pass. Bird, Drexler with the ball, but first loose ball foul on Clyde Drexler.
Drexler is an outstanding offensive rebounder. We have 2 of the best second guards in the game tonight. Lewis and Drexler must block him out, put a body on him.
8%.
Well, that's outstanding shooting. We know that. That leads the league. They average right over 11 attempts a ball game. Now, tonight we have 3 of the top 10 three-point shooters in the league, in Porter, Ainge, and Bird. Now, the Celtics only shoot 4 a game. There's a big difference there, but the problem is that Bird, if he's on a roll, he'll launch at least 7 or 8.
He connected on 7 about a week ago to set the Boston team record. Bird's first shot of this game. It's the front of the rim. Rebound Porter.
I want to see Portland more movement, not the early shot attempts, which they've been doing so far.
Beautiful pass from Porter down to Buck Williams. Brian Shaw right in the face, and Terry couldn't pull the trigger, but he could certainly make the pass.
We have 2 of the 1 and 2 in assists in this league in this game tonight. Portland first and Boston second. They both handle the ball and they'll give it up.
Shaw off the Bird screen misses his jumper. Buck Williams gets it to Porter. Portland can take the lead on this possession, trailing by 1. 6:11 to go, first quarter. Duckworth got past Parrish and stripped away from him. Here comes Shaw, has Gamble. Back to Bird. Bird runs into Porter to lose the ball. Back from the Trailblazers. Drexler to Kersey, who can't handle it. Porter against Gamble now as the mismatch has taken place. So we've got Lewis on Drexler.
Nice. That was an excellent pass, but a bad shot.
Offensive control down there by Portland, and Duckworth has his 6th point of the game.
See, Drexler is not only a scorer and a terrific rebounder for a second guard, but he's also second on his team in assists, averaging 7 a game.
Gamble again down the lane. The interior lane defense of Portland lacking early.
Well, if you look at defensively, Portland, they're getting nothing out of Drexler and Kersey in transition or when they're guarding their guys off the dribble.
18-17 Celtics. 5 minutes to go, first quarter. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Duckworth over Parrish.
Celtics very consistent with Sunday's game plan. They are not double teaming Duckworth.
Shaw tried to get into the middle. The ball stripped away, and now the battle for it, and it's taken by Kersey. Porter has Williams. Can't handle the pass. Boston ball. Now here's the change again as we talk about matchups as Kevin McHale comes into the game for Robert Parrish.
Well, this is interesting. Chris Ford does not want to play many minutes with Bird, Parrish, and McHale together. So they are staying small, conceding that they are on the road and they are going to match up with Portland in this building.
So McHale in at center now, and Gamble again with the drive, offensive foul. It's on Kevin Gamble.
Well, that time Kevin lost control of the ball once he got down inside. Now you'll see it right here. You know, it's nice hesitation, but he lost the ball right there. He lost control. He could have possibly have stopped on a dime and gotten off a short jump shot. Chris Ford gambling here right now because Gamble with 2 fouls.
No pun intended. Kersey missing on the layup. They call him for the travel, and D. Brown is going to get into the ball game for Boston.
You're coaching in this game right now, and what you're trying to do is get as many easy shots as possible and also try to eliminate turnovers, especially those kind of turnovers.
So Gamble sits down, and now D. Brown and Brian Shaw on the floor at the same time for the Celtics with a 1-point lead. Lewis with the pull-up jumper. And Kersey on the board. Porter from long range over the back. It'll be Boston ball, leading it by 1.
Portland is on their game. They beat you off the dribble, get down into the lane. If they do not take it all the way, they stop and kick it back out for the perimeter jump shot, but preferably the 3-point shot.
D. Brown, excellent job filling in for the injured Brian Shaw. Bird open for the jumper. This one goes long. First one hit the front of the rim. The next one's due to fall after those rangefinders.
In the early going, Boston defense excellent, getting back and matching up.
Bird punching it away from Buck Williams. Drexler, tough move inside, big board by Duckworth, but he's trapped down low. What a move by Kevin Duckworth. He has 8 points.
Very quick, very quick down inside. That's his second offensive, second shot put back. One baby hook, one the layup.
Boston with 10 to shoot. McHale's first attempt of the game is good over Duckworth.
Well, the coaching staff of Portland, this is the main concern. What to do with McHale. They fear him more than anyone else because even when they double team him, he makes the pass.
Duckworth misses from long range. McHale got his hand on that ball. Drexler with a jam. Drexler has 4.
No one even came close to putting a body on him. That's where we say he piles up a lot of points on second shot opportunities.
Portland took the lead. D. Brown takes it right back.
That's the second time they've run that pick and roll. It's the second time D. Brown's man went underneath the pick. If they're going to double space, he must stop and take that jump shot.
In which he has more confidence since he filled in for Brian Shaw. He's been shooting it well. Kersey on the drive. He draws the foul.
I love Kersey. I mean, it's Kersey, he's the workman, the lunch pail guy, the guy who really comes, gets the job done, attacks you at both ends of the floor. Total game is aggressiveness, and the main thing, he scores a bundle, and you don't even know it. Duckworth come into your picture. See, this is where Portland, they're murder on the offensive board. Their inside people are very active. Buck Williams, Duckworth, and Kersey. And then they have the advantage when you get Drexler in the mix. Now, when you're good on the offensive boards, you have a major problem. Can you get back if Boston rebounds and kicks it out? In the early going, the answer is no. The Celtics have been able to get out and really hurt them.
Offensive rebounds, Portland 5, Boston 1, just what you're talking about. 8 second chance points for the Portland Trailblazers.
See, you're Chris Ford right now. You're very concerned with this. You're being out-rebounded in the game so far, 11-5. You know that 5 of them have come in second shots. They put 3 of them back in. But you're also positive because you're telling your guys, listen, if we do get it out, the premium is on Bird and McHale to rebound so that the other 3 guys can fill the lane, due to the fact that Drexler and Kersey are not getting back. They need 3 to stop this Celtic fast break.
That foul before the timeout was on Brian Shaw. Kersey goes to the line. Danny Ainge, former Boston player, has checked in for the Portland Trailblazers. Ainge had 17 points in 23 minutes last week. He wears number 9.
Did an excellent job. Kersey's game really blossomed last year in the playoffs. Came in with over 20 points a game. Just did a terrific job in every series. Now here's full court pressure right now. We have, it's like a 2-1-2 trap, except they are matched up.
Pinckney in the ball game for Boston. D. Brown, Reggie Lewis, the Celtic guards. D. Brown open from 19. Not this time. Rebound Drexler. Kersey.
He'll go all the way.
You have to know who has the basketball. Kersey will take it right down the middle and attack every time.
Blazers by 3. Kersey has 9 points. Robinson in defending Bird. The steal by Drexler. Ainge handling. Drexler's interior pass to Buck Williams.
That's why I brought out that point earlier. He is second on this team in assists. People they just don't talk about his passing ability. That's the 3rd beautiful pass for a layup.
After 6 ties and 8 lead changes, Portland has built their biggest lead of the game of 5 points. Bird trying to get inside of Kersey. He does. High off the glass, looked off balance. Drexler. He's fouled.
All right, now, you're a Boston Celtic fan. You know you are in deep trouble. Building is rocking. They're stealing the ball. They are forcing you into bad shots. Now keep an eye on Drexler here. Now just watch how he passes across the lane to the cutter. Excellent eyes. And there he was in a situation where he read the trap and still saw the cutter.
D. Brown committed the foul for Boston as Drexler goes to the line.
He does more than score. He's on the boards. He's stealing the basketball. He's feeding people who have a better shot opportunity than himself. The Celtics must get their half-court offense going. We said that earlier. It's out of whack.
Bird for 3. After going 0 for 2, we said he hit the front of the rim, he hit the back of the rim, he found the range and drills the 3. Portland was on a 7-3 run until then. Drexler tried to answer. Air ball to Bird.
I'd take Drexler off the dribble.
Lewis penetrates inside. Tough Portland defense down there. Ainge stepped on the line as he attempted to save it. It'll belong to Boston.
The reason why I said if I were Lewis, I would keep going at him. I would force him to play me, and I would attack his shoulder side. I want to see if he can take the physical pounding, and more important, will he try to block my shot, or will he allow me to go all the way?
Turnovers even. We have 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Pick and roll. D. Brown kicks it to Lewis. An excellent ball movement with 0.6 of a second to go in the quarter. Portland won't get a shot off. And Boston was trailing by 5. And now at the end of the first quarter, Boston trails Portland 28-27 from Memorial Coliseum. 613th consecutive sellout. 28-27.
D. Brown recovers, kicks out. Now watch Drexler run hard at Lewis. Now up until now, you say, well, he made that one. Yes, but in the 4 previous minutes, they were missing and getting out on the break.
McHale pounds it inside, but Wayne Cooper in the ball game got a hand on it.
Wayne Cooper, one of the league's premier shot blockers for many seasons.
He comes in and gets a partial block with only a moment gone in the quarter, and McHale now has 4 points. Boston, by the way, no free throw attempts in the first quarter. Remember last Sunday, in the first half, Portland had no free throw attempts in Boston. Boston on a 7-0 run with the 1-point lead. Ainge kicks to Young. Danny Young missing. Robinson with the rebound. Stripped loose. D. Brown. Bird. Beautiful pass inside to Pinckney for the jam.
Now that's the way to get it done. Anytime you're down in there and you have a bad angle like Pinckney had, you try to stuff it with 2 hands. Everyone clears out.
Boston on a 9-0 run. Portland had built a 5-point lead early in the second quarter. Here Robinson loses the dribble. 10 to shoot. Ainge open. Lewis with the rebound.
Since Portland's second unit is on the floor, they're just too congested. They need better spacing.
Probably an ill-advised pass attempt. That bounce pass didn't come up high enough for Pinckney. He loses it out of bounds from D. Brown. 31-28 Boston and 6 Celtics turnovers.
Now with this unit on the floor for Portland, you must say to yourself, now who are our primary guys that we want to go to? Now you know Ainge is one of the key scorers here, along with Kersey and Robinson.
Danny Young to Ainge. Lewis got a hand on it. Lewis out in front. He's going to probably get rewarded. Look out for Kersey. Couldn't get his hands on it.
Danny tried to backpedal. That opened up Lewis. But how about Bird? Naturally looking down and stayed with the pass all the way.
11-0 Boston run. Boston's biggest lead of the game of 5. Portland at one time led by 6. 4-3. Air ball from Young. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game.
Since this group is on the floor, I know we've only played a minute and change, couple minutes and change. Everything is perimeter, nothing down inside, and nothing off the dribble for Portland.
Bird looking for D. Brown, finds him from 14 feet. He makes the pass to Pinckney, has it blocked for Cooper, but they're going to call the foul on Wayne Cooper. What a pass and good ball movement.
We have two excellent teams here. They're not only good because they have great talent, but they're totally unselfish. Now just watch this pass at the last second, coming down to a guy who has a better shot. No one would have said a word if D. Brown would have forced that jump shot.
Pinckney at the free throw line. He hasn't shot many, but he shoots 91%. Some scores. Chicago hammered Atlanta, where the Hawks had won 22 in a row before Phoenix stopped their win streak, and the Bulls played like they were at home today. Now Boston up by 7. Biggest lead of the game by either team, 35-28.
I see more movement, better spacing. You'll wind up with a good shot.
Ainge off the glass. Good shot.
Anytime you do that, you move that quickly and you cut and you pitch the ball out. The defense is running at you. Any kind of head fake immediately puts you in an offensive advantage.
Lewis found an open spot, missed from 15. Young got his hand up on it. Kersey against McHale. McHale with a block. 14-13 to shoot. Danny Young on the penetration. Now 6 seconds to shoot. Robinson had time. Ill-advised shot attempt. It's out of bounds to Boston.
Tough shot that time. Robinson was kind of like fading, almost out of bounds, but he never squared up for a good release.
Rick Adelman gets a timeout. Doesn't like the look of this current team he has on the floor. Again, big on the three-pointers, 5 out of 8 today. Phoenix playing very, very well. Hubie and I saw Phoenix in New York last week, beating the Knicks, and Phoenix now beating Minnesota there. Miami gets the win over New Jersey, Cycli with 21 rebounds. And the Lakers, 115-101 over Orlando. So the Lakers keep the pressure off themselves from behind and on Portland from behind Portland.
The early going here, we played 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Portland is 1 for 7 for the quarter, but how about 4 air balls?
Bird, nothing but the bottom. That's a two-pointer. Bird has 5. He missed his first 3 shot attempts, then hit the 3 and then that. Williams, Cooper, Danny Young, Ainge, and Robinson in there for Portland. Robinson missing inside. Ryan Shaw on the run with D. Brown, Bird, McHale, and Ed Pinckney.
Now Robinson missed that shot, but he was definitely pushed on the hip, and it was really easy to spot. And he went right after the referee. No call that time, but he had a legitimate complaint.
D. Brown with 10 seconds on the Boston shot clock. Gets the McHale pick, and the foul as Danny Young tries to run through Kevin McHale.
Well, see, they're playing the pick and roll differently now. When Porter was in the game, he went under the pick and roll to get through to force Brown to take the jump shot. That time, Danny Young is trying to fight him over the top. It's a tough cover now because you have Bird involved here.
McHale rolls down to the post.
Nice.
Brown feeds it inside to Pinckney for the shorter jump.
Now you say, why was Bird involved? Because you could not switch or pick up and double team. That allowed them to have McHale one-on-one in the low post.
Boston's biggest lead of 9. Ainge misses off the glass, gets a big rebound there over Larry Bird. It won't fall. Good offensive boards, and Robinson misses. Cooper battles for it. Finally, D. Brown has the Celtics running. Pinckney on his left, Shaw on the right. Pinckney gets it. He draws the foul. Pinckney, by the way, with 6 points early in this game off the bench.
Well, he's running hard. He's filling the lanes. Now, I'm impressed at the other end on the boards. I'll tell you, I know Portland is frustrated. They're coming right now with Porter, Drexler, and Duckworth. You know, the coaching staff has seen enough of this group. They're getting plenty of opportunities. They're banging the boards, but they just can't do anything with the basketball.
Easy Ed Pinckney. His national notoriety in the Final Four, of course, most of us will remember. And speaking of that, all the selections for the NCAA big dance were made today.
You know, Eddie was an outstanding player in high school basketball in New York City. Did an excellent job at Villanova. And his pro career has been up and down. But he can block shots, rebound, aggressive defensively. And that's what Chris Ford wants him for. Just run the lanes and pick up the garbage.
Portland can't throw it in the ocean in this quarter. 1 out of 12 as they trail by 11. Duckworth against McHale.
See, they're determined not to double team because they do not want to give Portland the open three-point shots if Duckworth were to kick it back out.
D. Brown to Larry Bird. Feeling it.
Now, that's the play we just explained to you. If you leave Bird and go down to help on McHale, then Bird just steps out.
Duckworth gets it inside again. McHale was there, but Porter with the rebound. Bird got a piece of that. D. Brown open from 10 feet from Larry Bird. And Boston now on a 23-4 run. And Rick Adelman knows that just as well as we do.
Now, this is an excellent timeout by Rick. He is really dejected. They are panging the boards, but they're not taking advantage of all of this hustle. The shots are there. You must convert the easy ones.
Just is down at the bottom of the list right now in this second quarter.
Well, they're struggling right now. They just cannot put a second shot back in. And you look at it right there. They're 2 for 15, only shoot 13% in this quarter. And they're out rebounding on the boards. They have 11 offensive rebounds already. And like we say, game in and game out, if you get 15 in an NBA game, that is a ton for the full 48 minutes. You see it right there, 11-2.
10 seconds to shoot. Shaw was the man who knocked it out of bounds. Duckworth is fouled by Kevin McHale.
There's nothing that Kevin can do with Butler. He's so wide. Once he makes that catch down inside and he has any number of moves, you know, Kevin is trying to bump him with his chest to get him out at least another step.
Porter dribbling around D. Brown. Good pass inside to Duckworth. Knocked out of his hands. It belongs to Portland at 13 on the shot clock. Duckworth with 10 points in this game.
Duckworth and Kersey very quietly just go about their business and put in great nights, night in and night out.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Portland with the ball. I have a feeling Portland's the kind of team you'd like to coach when you were coaching.
Well, first of all, they're very, very talented. They can play inside, outside, play big or small. They're very physical. I expect them to make a major run here. But if it doesn't happen now, it'll happen in the second half.
Continuing the domination on the board, Buck Williams misses the shot. Bird hit his head on the floor. He's not happy, but it looks to be all right.
You'll see it right now. Bird goes up here. Now, boom, there's the crash right there. A lot of people say, loose ball foul, not in this one. two Titans playing one another.
Two physical interior basketball teams. Bird, left-handed pass to Shaw. To McHale. 4 seconds to shoot. D. Brown on the drive. It's blocked. Buck Williams got it. And that'll be a violation because the shot clock expired.
When this unit was on the floor in the last 4 minutes for Portland in that first quarter, they tightened things up, became more aggressive, and really shut the Celtics off. They fell apart when they went to their second group.
Duckworth sets the pick. Drexler with the drive. We have a holding call. It's on Brian Shaw. That'll be his second.
Shaw, his second personal, second team foul.
Second team foul on Boston.
Yeah, I like that matchup. Anytime that Drexler has Shaw, you see he's got to put it down on the floor. That forces the Celtics to make a move right now. Reggie Lewis back in the ball game to play Drexler.
Robinson against Pinckney. Pinckney got a hand on it, but the whistle.
Yeah, two Big East guys just went one-on-one that time. University of Connecticut versus Villanova. Kevin McHale has never committed fouls.
It's incredible. And they continue to say that he commits the fouls.
Both guys hit him that time when he went up on the shot.
With Robinson with the free throw. Robert Parrish back into the game for Kevin McHale. McHale sits down with 4 points. Robert Parrish, by the way, has not scored in this game.
Major weakness in the Portland game, their only major flaw, and that is their foul shooting. They only shoot 74%, and they have some key guys like Robinson that are in the 60s, like Robinson, Kersey, Buck Williams, key people who do get to the foul line.
Boston, on the other hand, shooting 80+% from the free throw line. D. Brown from the Bird screen. Pinckney, big board. He's playing tough tonight.
Yes, he is.
Missed that lay-in in the heavy traffic. Got it back again.
Well, anytime you dunk like that softly, you're going to get the rebound if you should miss.
The double team on Parrish works. Drexler has Portland running. Lewis knocked it out of the hands of Drexler. D. Brown saves it to Lewis against Porter.
3-on-1. Give him his due. A great defensive job by Terry Porter.
And then Porter gives it to Williams for the jam at the other end. You're looking at some great basketball right now, defensively and offensively from Porter.
Excellent timeout, Chris Ford. He's taking the building right out of this one. He is not going to allow them, to get momentum going here right now. Chris Ford talking to Reggie Lewis and telling him, listen, when we have a 3-on-1, we expect a better shot opportunity than this shot right here. I mean, look at this shot. You have Parrish coming down on the other side wide open. So that's what Chris Ford is doing. And any time that you miss a layup in this league, it's just uncanny how the pass is immediately made to the other end of the floor and they score quickly.
Well, the Celtics lead it here 45-36, which is a 9-point lead. But remember, Portland got the Celtics at Boston Garden a week ago, and Boston at that time led by as many as 11 points.
Well, in that third quarter, Boston up 11, playing their game. Portland looking sluggish, a little bit like tonight. All of a sudden, bam, 16-2. They go off with a 3-point lead at the end of the third quarter. And then, well, Portland did make a run. It got down into the under 5 minutes. Portland up 2. And then we had 2 very controversial goaltending calls that definitely swayed the game in Portland's favor.
Important to remember here, too, that we're talking about 2 of the better road teams in the league. Portland getting the road win at Boston, but Boston no slouch on the road either. They played very well on that last West Coast trip.
Well, anytime that you have veteran players who have excellent track records. Now, here we have the chart for you. You see Portland 17-11 on the road, but then Boston is also 17-11. They are not afraid to go out there because their main guys can take on not only the team, take on the building, take on the referees, take on any situations because they are accustomed to winning. And you always rely on your main horses. How well do they play on the road?
It's kind of funny. You might say, which team doesn't belong in that list in terms of where the standings are? You see down at the bottom, the New York Knicks, better on the road than at home. But we must say about John McLeod's club, since we saw them lose their only game out of the last 8 in Madison Square Garden to Phoenix, they're playing well, 7 of 8.
And in that game versus Phoenix, with 37 seconds on the clock, it was a 2-point ball game. So they have won 7 out of 8, and they're really starting to play with a great deal of confidence.
Looks like they're going to get in the playoffs. Bird 4-3. Count it. Bird has hit his last 5 shots in a row.
Well, anytime when it's crucial, coming out of a timeout, you really got to put the pressure on Bird. Make him dribble the ball.
Takes that 9-point lead, turns it into a 12. Drexler, tough shot. Count the basket and the foul. Sore shoulder and all.
You cannot fall asleep on Drexler. You'll see the shot go up, and you see all that banging around, and there he is right up over the top of everybody, then the fadeaway. He has that ability not only when he's going to to glide, but he can fall back, keep his balance, and get off a high percentage shot.
Bird now has 10 points and 4 rebounds. Counting that one, 10-point Boston lead. Gamble defended by Robinson. Oh, boy.
Watch out. Watch out. The Gamble would have been better off passing the ball and cutting.
Punched away by Lewis as Drexler tried to drive.
3-on-2.
D. Brown open. Bird open for 3. Air ball this time, but Robert Parrish was there.
Oh, my.
No whistle. They say he got the ball. Jack Madden made that call. Drexler driving, goes to the reverse. Bird with his 5th rebound. Long pass to Robert Parrish. To Gamble. Boston up by 10. We have 2:50 to go, second quarter. Bird drives and kicks it to Brown.
What a nice draft. You know, I mean, he's so solid. He rebounds for you. He handles the ball. He does not turn it over, and he has an excellent perimeter game. He shoots right around that 50% mark.
Porter gets the 3. That'll bring the attitude of Portland back just a little bit. The fans are looking a little long in the tooth here as they were trailing 50-38. Now 50-41. Bird
That was forced.
Definitely. Williams was right up in his face. Porter saved it on a great play. Ad pass, great save. Duckworth spinning inside with the handoff to Drexler.
Isn't it uncanny how many balls Drexler gets there? Even if he doesn't get the rebound, how many loose balls he gets to pick up.
It's going to be Boston ball with 18 seconds. You're looking at some playoff intensity basketball here tonight in Portland.
Well, Cliff Robinson really set a tone here in the last couple of minutes. He's banging people all over the place, getting an excellent hand by the crowd as he leaves the ball game.
So it's Kersey, Duckworth, Drexler, Buck, Williams, and Porter on the floor for the Trailblazers, trailing it by 7 now. Drive by D. Brown to Lewis for the open shot.
That's the 4th time tonight D. Brown has gotten down inside, sucked up the defense, passed out for a field goal.
And had Brian Shaw not been injured, he had not got all that playing time, he might not be playing with that kind of confidence. Drexler, long range. Porter. Porter travels.
Larry Bird forced that turnover by leaving his man and cutting off the passing lane. Porter thought he had a pass to the left side of the lane, and he started to make the pass. Bird cut it off, forced the travel.
The Portland bench has been offensively incompetent. Danny Young, Ainge, Robinson, Cooper, 1 of 12.
Well, in the game this past Sunday, only 2 guys scored for Boston off the bench and 2 for Portland. You know, Portland, Robinson and Ainge were the only 2 guys who scratched last Sunday.
Boston with 10 to shoot. Now 6. D. Brown trying to beat Porter. A lot of people have tried that. Into Parrish with 2, and the Chief gets his first basket of the game.
Main thing right now for Portland is to try to get it under. If you shoot quick here right now, you could get another possession.
Foul away from the ball on Boston.
You want to get it down under 10 as you go off.
Second personal, 15 foul into the penalty.
54-43, Boston leading. We have 42.5 seconds until halftime as Jerome Kersey goes to the free throw line. And the foul was committed by D. Brown, his second. Coming up at halftime, speaking of Prudential halftime reporter Ernie Johnson in our studios in Atlanta with scores and highlights featuring the Bulls and Hawks game today, the Lakers versus Magic game. And Ernie will take a look at the NBA's chronic complainers.
Do they have enough time?
Halftime I meant to announce will be an hour. Robert Parrish misses the hook, gets his own rebound, and then is fouled hard. That
is one of the very few second shot opportunities for the Celtics in this half. Now you're going to see a nice hook but no block out. Look at that. Chief just rolled right inside of Duckworth. Then anytime he's down inside, the Chief is going to pump fake you until he gets you up in the air and then step into you.
Well, Jerome Kersey was called for the foul, but the man who did the damage in terms of clubbing the Chief was Kevin Duckworth. That came after the foul, though, and Robert Parrish misses the free throw. Maybe it's the Sports Illustrated jinx. Parrish with only 1 field goal tonight. Campbell sits down, Pinckney back in.
The Celtic family, everyone very happy about Robert. It's the first time that Sports Illustrated ever did a full story just on Parrish. They were very happy to see them give him that time, and also, from what we understand, a very solid article that everyone was happy about.
Well backgrounded article. Read it just this afternoon. The oldest player in the NBA at 37, Robert Parrish. 5 to shoot for Portland. Drexler is fouled before he kicked it out to Peel.
Boston foul, number 35, Reggie Lewis is third.
It's on Reggie Lewis. He's committed 3 personals for Boston. Brian Shaw back in as Lewis will sit down. We have only 9 seconds remaining in the half. Very low-scoring game. Remember, these are 2 of the highest-scoring teams in the NBA. Portland averages 115 a game, and they're not even going to have 50 at halftime.
But you know, you go back to last Sunday, the score at the half was 56-51 Boston. Then they put together a 32 and a 33, third and fourth quarter.
Free throw out of bounds belongs to Boston. Boston with 7.7 seconds, enough time certainly to get a shot up. Adelman wants some backcourt pressure. Gets it at half court.
They're not picking up. You're just letting them go to where they'd like to get. Nice pass.
Brian Shaw with the lay-in from D. Brown. And D. Brown with a steal, and the shot at the buzzer won't fall.
D. Brown, what an outstanding quarter.
And the Boston Celtics build a 10-point halftime lead here in Portland. But remember, Boston led by 11 in the loss to Portland last week. And D. Brown, we talked about the fact that Brian Shaw is back from the ankle injury. D. Brown, the rookie, filled in for him, and he is continuing to play with tremendous confidence.
Well, you know, they scored 12 field goals that quarter. He had 8 assists in the second quarter. He's having it, and also Gamble and Lewis, really big scoring. Now, just watch. This is where he's been murdered. He's been getting down inside off the dribble and then picking out the shooters. But now, give Boston credit. They have been making the perimeter shot with the pressure down. D. Brown, great limited playing time, and look at the statistic. Now, another major factor for Boston is not only Gamble and Lewis scoring, but also Bird with the threes. Now, he is 2 for 3 in that category, and both of them were killers. One after a timeout, and one when they were having a great deal of difficulty scoring points. Now, at this end of the floor, it's nothing but frustration. The poor team is only shooting 36%. They have 14 offensive rebounds by halftime, and you can see how many good opportunities they are getting. Now, when you're a coach in this situation, you're happy with the effort, you're frustrated with the shots, but you know it is there for you. But if you're going to not get it, you must get back defensively.
36%, you see that in Portland's perimeter shooting, only 3 of 16 from outside.
And that is definitely one of their strong suits, no doubt about it.
Now, we have to say at the beginning of this ballgame, we talked about the question. Portland has a week off because of a quirk in NBA scheduling and building not being available, etc. They are ice cold as you look at the shooting percentage there from the perimeter. Is it because of the layoff? What's your analysis of that so far?
I think that the opportunities have been there for them. They just haven't been able to make them. Plus, the Celtics have done an outstanding job knocking into perimeter shooting.
Remember, Portland has defeated Boston in the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Well, Larry Bird didn't cool off at halftime. He drills the 18-footer, has 12 points in the game, and Boston builds a 12-point lead early in the third quarter. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you from Portland Memorial Coliseum on a Sunday night NBA special. Duckworth inside again. He was hot in the first half, and he just continues. He has 12.
I tell you, he's pretty because he can shoot the hook with either hand. He has the jump shot. He has the drop step power move. Complete low post game.
Brian Shaw from the perimeter for Boston. In and out of there. Drexler on the run. To Kersey.
Now that is Trailblazer basketball. You miss, they blow it down, forcing Chris Ford. Quick 20-second timeout here right now. Wants to just get the troops together here and say, hey, listen, like if we're going to miss, we must get back. Because this guy, he's on a mission right now, Drexler. He has really been playing extremely hard. He'll force the ball, force Lewis to play him. Why? Lewis has 3 fouls. He's going to say, listen, Reggie, you must stop me off the dribble, or I'm going to continue the penetration and make something happen.
Kersey also with 11 points. Larry Bird with 12. While we have a moment, I'll remind you that this program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the NBA solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the NBA is prohibited. The double team on D. Brown. It'll belong to Boston with 12 on a shot clock.
Well, they just do not like Brian Shaw's ability to move right now. They're looking at it and they're saying, hey, we cannot give him the minutes tonight. This is one that we are not experimenting with.
7 seconds to shoot. D. Brown has to force up prayer. Portland. Porter missing. Bird rebounding. And Bird is fouled in the backcourt by Kevin Duckworth. That'll be Duckworth's first.
At the top of the show, we said 2 guys were keys for the Celtics. And that Gamble and Lewis. They've already surpassed the total points that they put in last Sunday's ballgame.
Larry Bird just inside the 3-point line. Robert Parrish keeps it alive, but they're going to call a foul against Portland, and that'll be Duckworth's second.
Now, for years, Boston terrorized on the offensive boards with Bird, McHale, and Parrish, and many people felt that it's the greatest offensive rebounding trio that they've ever seen in this league. They can be behind you and still get the ball because of the long reach of Parrish and McHale.
Gamble into the paint, kicks it out to D. Brown. Kersey on the run. Has it stripped away, and he is fouled on the drive.
Yeah, he's uncanny. Kersey's uncanny. Jerome, when he's coming down the middle of the floor, everyone thinks, or the majority of players, defenders, think that he's going to pass the ball. He never passes the ball unless you get in front of him and stop it. He's taking it all the way, coast to coast.
And why should he, if you look at it that way? That foul, by the way, was on Gamble. He has 3.
And you have to remember, Kersey was a center in college. So he's making up for all that lost time and not handling the ball.
You think I'm giving it back? Kersey, by the way, I'll just throw out a little trivia question to you NBA fans who have forgotten where Kersey went to college. They're not in the 64-team NCAA field.
No, I'm afraid not.
Bird from long range. Rebound Parrish. Back out to Gamble. Back to Bird. Hard to the hoop from Gamble, and that's something he brought to the Celtics team as the quick forward that a lot of people didn't really expect from him.
Okay, he gives them the defense, but he gives them another slasher off the dribble that can make things happen.
We got the hold on Kevin Gamble, and by the way, that's 4 personals on Gamble.
That's a tough foul for them, mainly because now when you come with McHale, you're going with what you did not want to do in your original game plan. Play 3 big guys versus Portland's quickness.
Portland trailing it by 8. 9:17 to go, third quarter. Now Kersey against McHale. Draws him outside, takes him inside, and draws the foul.
That was good basketball, sound basketball, Bob. You have that one, that's a foot match. I know that Kevin McHale made the second team all-defensive team last year. We know that Kevin has made the all-defensive first or second team 5 times in his career because he lays off of these small forwards, plays them for the dribble, and then will contend the shot because he's an outstanding shot blocker.
Kersey missing the free throw. By the way, Jerome Kersey's alma mater, Longwood College in Virginia.
Well, listen, we have some good ones here tonight. Come on.
Wisconsin Stevens Point.
Eastern Illinois.
Yugoslavia.
Robert Parrish took a shot right in the bridge of the nose. That's the reason why that ball came out loose. You must be careful. This is only a 6-point game.
face of Lewis. 10 to shoot for Boston. Bird from 19. Over Porter. Bird has 14 points.
Larry is knocking him down tonight when he's coming off with picks and with movement. When he's catching the ball standing still and then trying to make something happen off the dribble, he's been missing.
Drexler tried to bounce it to Williams. Parrish intercepts and gets it to D. Brown.
I want to see them go down inside to McHale, that matchup that the Portland coaching staff was so concerned about.
McHale gets it, but not in the conventional method, and Duckworth steals to Porter. 3-on-2. Drexler with the big jam over Bird.
You've got to like that.
Oh, that is sending it home as you jump over Larry Bird.
He calls timeout for Boston. So Boston's lead has been cut to 6 points. A little deja vu from the last meeting between these two basketball teams.
He almost sat on his shoulder. Remember, Bird is not 6'6", he's 6'9".
Our TNT Sunday night special, the Beasts of the East, Boston, and the Best of the West, Portland, and it's a 6-point Celtics lead. Portland has won the last 4 matchups between these teams. D. Brown from McHale intercepted. Buck Williams takes it hard to the hoop. Boston's defense was there this time. Bird has it stripped away, but the whistle.
Now Portland really upset. Buck Williams first. Plus Rick Adelman on the side, because Buck Williams is saying, same hit at the other end that I did not get, you're giving to Larry Bird because Larry Bird walked. Before we blocked that shot.
And now Boston contending that Bird was going to shoot. Let's see if he goes to the line. Team fouls are even at 3 apiece, so it's not a shooting foul unless they decide he was going to shoot the basketball. I think that's what the call is going to be. No, they've thought better of it.
Well, they wanted the shot naturally, Chris Ford. See, they're right there. They're saying that he was not in shooting. Well, if they're calling a foul on that attempt, that should have been a shooting foul.
One way or the other. Parrish down low against Duckworth. Double team gets there.
Porter did a terrific job in getting a piece of that shot.
Kersey kicks it out to Porter. Open for the jump.
That's a three-pointer.
That will get him going now.
It's a 3-point game.
That's Kevin's second 3 now. He's 2 for 3. Remember, he and Danny Ainge both shoot over 40% on threes.
Kersey went down and Bird immediately pulled the trigger. Parrish comes away with a loose ball in the jam. Robert Parrish, only 4 points in this ball game.
What a reaction by Drexler. He ran over, jumped up in the air, and kicked his hands in his arm. He was so exasperated.
Comes back and answers with the jumper, and Drexler has 14. It's once again a 3-point Celtics lead. Celtics have led by as many as 13 in this game. Bird against Kersey. Beautiful pass inside to Lewis.
You wonder how the guy can see all that. From here, you could see it because we had the angle. I mean, he had a defensive man on it.
Porter with another 3. And now it's a 2-point game with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. The crowd on their feet.
Once Porter gets the field, you must play him off the dribble because that is a routine 3 for him.
Lewis over Drexler. Very tough shot. Rebound Duckworth. Lewis with a steal. Back to D. Brown.
I don't understand why the Celtics are not going down inside to McHale. I really don't understand it.
Now they are. And we have the foul. It'll be on Buck Williams. About the only way to defense him down there is to push him.
Well, first of all, Buck last year, first team all defense, but he's given away too many inches. He cannot stop the shot. Now, Portland has been double teaming McHale. They are afraid that McHale will then pinpoint the passes. Well, if that is so, you know you can get that every single time if you're the Celtics.
Bird to D. Brown with the drive. Rebound Parrish. Back up hard. Now the Celtics by 4. 5:14 to go in the third.
Parrish has been the recipient of some weird bounces, I'll tell you that.
Duckworth trying to pound it inside. He wanted to hit Kersey with the pass. It'll be Boston ball, up by 4.
It was a good idea. It was too hard of a pass, plus Kersey had already moved. Let's see, you're back in the game. Not only are you back in the game, the fans are back in the game. That's a big stat right there. 13 turnovers by Portland. They only had 6 in Boston on Sunday.
D. Brown gets the Bird pick. As he tried to split the defenders, the ball came loose. This will be good. Kersey has 17.
The Celtics all stop and watch that ball. What I like now is Portland they're trapping the pick and roll.
Boston reversing it to Lewis down on the baseline on the far side. Kept alive by Williams, out of bounds. It belonged to the Celtics.
They're after it now. This is the Portland defense that you expect to see in this building. They are double teaming. They're doing an excellent job. Here we just have a runaway express. He's going to do his thing, get the building back in this ball game. That ball went in. They double team McHale. The pass out. Everyone rotated quickly.
Boston's lead has been cut to 2. Parrish isolated. Back in over Duckworth. Parrish has that shot. Is there a better shooter in the game of big men in that area?
Well, he takes his time. He'll milk the clock, and you're not going to get it because he's so big with the long arms.
Kersey with an awkward shot. It didn't go. They're going to wave it off.
Bad
offensive
call.
basket interference.
Very bad call. Very bad call. You know, Rick is up over there, and he's justified in that one. You got to see this one was definitely off. Ball, you know, the rule is the ball must be over the cylinder without a chance to go. That ball was all the way off the basket. Definitely did not have an opportunity to go in.
Boston by 4. McHale against Williams down on the block. Long turnaround jumper. Duckworth out-battles Parrish for the rebound. Kersey to Drexler. And the foul. Drexler can cut it to 1.
When you're a coach, you always tell your players, if you're going to foul this guy going to the basket, just watch the bump. You're going to see it right there. There's a little bump. Don't bump him and give him a 3. Take his arms down and do not allow him to get the ball up above his shoulders.
Still a 2-point game as Drexler misses the free throw. Looks like his rotator cuff may be bothering him on free throw tonight, if nothing else.
Definitely nothing else. Look at this. Their defense swarming. Excellent job.
Buck Williams is still on Lewis on the other end. And Pinckney with a hard foul on Jerome Kersey.
Now that's a good foul. You expect that in this game. You don't give a guy an opportunity to make a 3-point play. Plus you're putting Kersey on the foul line. You know that going in, the main guys that you want to foul. Jerome Kersey is a 68% foul shooter. So, of course, you're better off doing this. Otherwise, he's going to jam it through.
You pointed out earlier that Portland's one of the weaknesses of the very few on this team is free throw shooting. It's here tonight.
They're a team that during the course of the game, because of their quick movement, the fact that they're slashers, usually will get 30-plus opportunities. They're one of the top teams in the league at foul shot attempts.
Kersey gets them both, and this game is tied at 70 with 3:10 to go in the third quarter. Boston had led by 13.
This is the guy that's got to get going here.
Double team didn't get there in time, but McHale uncharacteristically missed the short turnaround. Looks to Drexler, to Kersey. What a great play by Kersey. Then went to Laurie, still collected himself and scored.
That was a beautiful drop-off pass by Drexler. Right now, the Celtics struggling, only 14 points for the quarter. But most of all, their main guys are getting bumped around. Buck Williams doing an excellent job inside, and look at this in the backcourt.
Duckworth from Porter. This crowd is electric. A 4-point Blazer lead.
quarter would go under the pick and roll. There he reached.
They've been trapping it all quarter, and they have been turning them over, and it has been leading to the fast breaks. In the last 3 minutes, they have outscored the Celtics 10-2, and everything is coming off of bumping the low post people into bad percentage shots, as well as trapping the pick and roll.
The GMC Truck scoreboard. See the Lakers with a win over Orlando. Miami beating New Jersey. We'll show you all the action that took place in the NBA today as we go along.
Now, Portland's gone to their bench guys with Young, Robinson, and Danny Ainge in there right now. No, I'm sorry, Young is not in there. Robinson and Ainge. Now, remember, when they came in, Young, Robinson, and Danny Ainge went a combined 1 for 12 in the beginning of that second quarter.
Boston has 8 seconds to shoot. Shaw, 5 to shoot. Tough fall away basket. It falls. Count it. The foul on Danny Ainge on the push.
First of all, bad foul by Ainge. He had Shaw drifting to the right. You can see here, Shaw does not have the ability to turn the quarter off the dribble. He has not been able to get down inside the lane by dropping the shoulder and exploding off the dribble.
Shaw gets all 3 points there, and now Boston has pulled to the then 1. And Chicago beat Atlanta big time. The Hawks' worst losses of the year in Atlanta. Larry Bird gets the air ball. Outlets it to D. Brown.
This half, Bob, no easy fast break baskets for the Celtics.
Hale bumps off of Robinson, gets the turnaround, and Boston has regained the lead. Excellent timeout by Chris Paul.
It was outstanding. The key thing is he's got to get McHale going in this game, wherever the shots are from. Up on top of the circle, down inside. They need the offensive production.
McHale has only 6 points thus far from 17 quarters. Rebound Bird. 9 rebounds for Larry Bird in the game. D. Brown open, thinks about it again to Bird. To Brian Shaw. Boston now moving the ball much better. It's the bench change once again, struggling a bit for the Trailblazers.
Well, this is a better defensive group, quick group. As soon as Bird put the ball down, they try to double team him, but when you do that outside, Bird will find the free guy on the lane. Drexler on the foul, got pumped right in the head.
Under a minute in the quarter. Drexler over Pinckney. Very difficult shot. Boston by 1.
So you're at home right now. Portland should just stop complaining and just play, because you're right in the game. Things are swinging in your favor. The tempo of this game has definitely changed.
Brian Shaw, offensive foul. Jack Madden stepped in to make that authoritative call.
I want to tell you, this is interesting. See, right here, Kevin McHale is all over Bob Delaney. Now, this is interesting, okay? All right, now he had it the other way. Delaney from the right side of the floor had the foul on Danny Ainge. Jack Madden on the other side of the floor had a charge. Now, let's see what we're going to do here right now.
Delaney may be saying that he got the foul before the charge, in other words, and that would be the call that would take precedence.
Now, there it is right there. Now, that definitely, in my opinion, and that right there, that is a foul by Ainge. Ainge was not there, and he bumped first before Shaw pushed them off.
I think since they've had 2 different calls from 2 different officials, they're going to jump it up. It's like football, nullifying calls.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what happens. I just was wondering whether or not Jack Madden was going to step off of his call.
And it turns out in the favor of the Trailblazers, who can regain the lead. Porter for 3. Air ball this time. Now Boston has 27.
Now, he has shot 2 air balls out of his last 3 attempts, and it's because he's forcing the shot. He's not letting it happen in the flow.
Terry Porter has taken 242 three-point attempts this year. That's almost as many as the entire Boston team. 7 to shoot for the Celtics. Bird will take the 3. Robinson rebound. 3 seconds from half court. Pass to Williams. Wave it off. Williams double clutch happened before the buzzer, and Boston leads at the end of 3, 77-76. Utah on Wednesday night. Boston will play Sacramento Tuesday, then Utah on Wednesday. We'll have the telecast for you. Note the time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Karl Malone, the mailman, and Larry Bird.
Well, it's the type of game that we thought we would see. Peaks and valleys. The Celtics with the ability to fight back. But we saw the first 30-point quarter in period 3 for Portland.
Drexler fouled by Brian Shaw, and that's 4 on Shaw.
He just cannot play him down inside. You know, Drexler, you look at him, he's a very muscular guy. Wiry, very, very strong down in the low post. And I know, and he knows, and they all know that he can post up Shaw.
And Drexler having a real struggle at the free throw line tonight. Drexler missed his last 2. Now he's missed that one. Finally nails this one. Tied at 77.
That's out of the ordinary for him because he's improved his foul shooting this year to 79% for the season.
Shaw to McHale. There's that double team.
Celtics did a poor job of spacing.
Shaw misses the jumper. McHale reached over Ainge, but Portland still has the break. Drexler from Kersey. Well done.
He came from nowhere. That was a 3-on-1 break. He thought he was passing to Ainge. Drexler intercepted it and laid it up as the 4th guy on the break.
Portland by 2. Bird just stepped in one of his patented creative shots.
Well, I mean, he faked the guy out, had the presence to stop, step around the guy, and then bank in the shot. I mean, he looked at me always because he's going in slow motion, right?
Exactly. It's easy to see. It's one of the reasons it's fun to watch. Here with the block out. To Bird. Ainge is there. Bird's going to back him in, go to the left hand. He gets his own board, and he's fouled as he tries to stick it back in.
Larry Bird just continued when Portland shot. He made a wave at a guy, went over half court, and waited. Now you're going to see this right here. Now there's a good block that time by McHale, and then Bird is already over half court. When he made the catch, he knew that he had Ainge behind him. It was just a matter of which shot attempt he was going to make, going over the top of Danny.
Bird with a double-double going here tonight. 10 rebounds. As Chris Ford pointed out to us at shoot-around today, you could just tell by the look of Larry Bird. He says, I think Larry Bird is back at 100%, feeling very good. McHale not quite 100% off his game.
Now you have Eddie Pinckney back in there. Had an excellent second quarter for him.
Duckworth over McHale. Rebound Brian Shaw, who was fouled and knocked out of bounds. As he's knocked out of bounds, and it was Cliff Robinson.
For the Celtics, this is a unit that all 5 guys might go on the boards. They cannot allow Bird to go 1 against 5 in.
Bird posted against Kersey. And Ainge with a foul on Shaw. And you talked about the whiners and the foul. Of course they all are. You know, you could pick almost anyone in the NBA. Can you think of someone, Hubie, real quickly, who doesn't complain when he's called for a foul?
Of course not, because you're trying to get away with that the very next time. Let's complain this time. Hope you get away from it.
Shaw with the left hand. What a block by Robinson. Looked like volleyball.
Now, the reason why he hit that so far is because he came so far and he was hit. Now just watch him in the lower right-hand corner. He's playing Bird. Watch him coming here now. That's it. There you go for the block. But someone undercut him.
Notice how Robinson has also changed his decor. He went from black to red on the headband. Robinson with a foul.
Rick Adelman made a great statement today. If we are going to lose this game or make mistakes, I want it with aggressiveness. I want us to be active and to play with a lot of emotion. We only saw that in spurts in the first half, but they've been able to tie it together the entire second half. Defensively.
Boston by 2. Hale from Bird. Shaw is open. 19 feet.
You got a double team. McHale, you're going to force McHale to rack up a lot of assists. That puts the pressure on the Celtics to hit that perimeter shot as the clock is going down.
Kersey against Pinckney inside to Duckworth. Gets down beneath McHale. Look at Drexler's rebound. What a play by Drexler. What a game he is having with his sore shoulder, tendonitis. He even had a sore back after he returned to practice, but he's not playing like it tonight. Boston by 2. McHale open for the lay-in from Bird.
It's tough to gamble on McHale unless you're already on the side of him. Robinson tried to gamble from the rear. When you do that, now you're definitely out of position. You're letting McHale just beat you with a drop step.
Boston by 4. 9 minutes to go in this game. And the Boston foul goes on Larry Bird. By the way, Portland has 4 team fouls already, and Boston now 2. That's Bird's first personal. It's a team foul situation becoming significant. The next one for Portland, Boston will be shooting. Nice. Duckworth pounding it inside, drawing the foul and getting it to fall. Duckworth has 18 points.
He has a beautiful game with his back to the basket. This is what we call an up and under. See, he fakes up, steps underneath, and comes up and in. When you teach that move at the high school level, it's incredible. It's always called a walk. And a lot of high school guys have stopped teaching that move, even though it's very effective, because it happens so quickly. A lot of guys will call it and they'd say, "Ooh, wow, you just covered so much ground. It has to be a walk." But at this level, they'll stay with that move. And Duckworth has it down, Pat, because you must blame for that lefty hook. He has that lefty jump hook.
This is the free throw. McHale gets the rebound. You saw Brian Shaw sit down. He has 5 personals. Steve Brown back in now. Larry Bird with a whirling dervish shot. Did he find the basket? Give me a break. He did not see the hoop until he let the ball go. Cliff Robinson mishandles it. He's had trouble holding on to the ball the last couple of times. He's wiping his hands right now as though he's maybe got a lot of water on him. Bird misses this time. Ainge for the rebound. Boston leading by 4. Duckworth. Now the double team on Duckworth. Bird stripped it away.
See, Bird is going to leave and double team now as much as possible because Robinson must prove to him that he can score in this game.
And Cliff Robinson just pounding Bird, pushing him way away from the hoop, but he gets it to McHale. Rebound Drexler. And cut it to 2, punched away by Pinckney. D. Brown. Had trouble with the dribble, and Portland gets their transition defense in place.
Excellent defense that time by Pinckney. That saved a field goal.
Boston with 4 to shoot. D. Brown from long range.
Clock is at 2. You see, now there's Crutch who's frustrated. Right there in the middle of your
outstanding defense.
They've been trapping that pick and roll. That's the first time this half that they allowed him. Danny Ainge went under. Boom. So long. Score time. Now you watch it. As he goes under, Robinson does not step up. Opened up the shot.
Ainge looking for Duckworth, defended by McHale. Duckworth backing in. The double team came from Bird. McHale to Larry Bird. He'll hold things up. Reggie Lewis. It's Portland ball.
That was a situation where Lewis is really a little hot at Pinckney because he started to cut on the baseline. Lewis put the pass out, but he stopped.
Now this time Portland, Terry Porter drains it because he's in position to make a good shot.
Bill Story, let the offense flow. You do not have to force shots. You're in a nice rhythm tonight.
Boston by 4 with 6:37 remaining in the game. Portland has won the last 4 meetings between these 2 teams. Bird isolated against Kersey, stripped away.
Now Bird hurt his thumb that time.
He's holding it on the left hand. Porter for 3. Robinson with the offensive board. Ainge is in place for a 3 here. Pinckney knocks it out of bounds with 16 on the Portland shot clock. Buck Williams back into the game for the Blazers. Bird's thumb looks to be okay the way he's holding it on the shipper. I think he's all right.
See, they're letting all that banging go. Anytime that you have a ball and you're being double teamed, they're allowing the stripping to go. There's been a lot of whacking, but it's at both ends of the floor. And anytime you're coaching in a game like this, hey, that's fine. But make sure it stays this way at both ends.
Through 3 periods, Kevin Gamble had played only 14 minutes. He comes back into the game now with 6:10 to go. 10 on the shot clock for the Trailblazers, trailing by 4. Pick and roll. Duckworth from Porter.
What a nice shot he had. It's like feathery. Floats through the air.
Duckworth with 20. Feathery duck floats. I like that.
Yeah, but you know what? When he shoots, you have a feeling that he has a chance to score every time.
5 to shoot for Boston. D. Brown has a mismatch somewhere. Kersey plays him. 2 to shoot. Bird knows it and hits it at the buzzer. Oh, my. Oh, Bird with 22. How many times? Buck Williams over Bird.
That's patented Buck Williams. He loves that move. Likes to come in the lane, either hit the sweeping hook or the jump hook.
A 2-point game. Boston in the lead. 15 on their shot clock. 5 to go.
Porter forces way over the top of that pick and roll.
There's the double team on McHale. Brown is open for the jumper. Rebound Porter. Portland can tie. Bird fouls Williams.
You know what's interesting that time? Coming down the floor, Terry Porter used Kevin McHale as a pick for him to get away from his player. Now just watch this. You'll see McHale on the left. As he uses McHale to pick D. Brown to get a half a step ahead to make that play.
You should have called a moving pick on McHale there. Williams to the free throw line. He can tie it if he drains both these. But Portland struggling at the line. 16 of 26. They've missed 10 free throws in this game.
Throughout Buck's career average 16 points a game, 11 rebounds a game, 65% foul shooting.
50% on that trip to the line. 1-point Celtics lead, 4:45 remaining.
Yeah, I was wondering when they were going to do this. Reggie Lewis has Ainge down inside on the opposite side. He was disappointed that he did not get the ball that time.
6 seconds to shoot. D. Brown kicks it to Gamble. 5 to shoot. Stolen by Porter.
Great play.
Portland has regained the lead with 4:24 remaining. Timeout, Boston. Shooting percentage.
And also you look at the bench scoring. Now Boston, they've had excellent production from McHale, Pinckney, and most of all D. Brown. Unfortunately for Portland, they've been really struggling. Now just watch Porter standing on the foul line. Look at this anticipation. He knows the shot clock is down. He anticipated the high dribble. This is third steal of the ball game.
Terry Porter with 15 points. We have 4 minutes, 23 seconds remaining. Portland has regained the lead by 1, 92-91. Boston is going to send onto the floor Brian Shaw, who's carrying 5 fouls, Gamble, Reggie Lewis, Larry Bird, and Kevin McHale.
Now, right now, both teams will be in the penalty on their next foul. This is good. Come down, make them labor a little bit, run some time off the clock.
Bird out high against Williams. Running a lot of screens down low. Nothing was there, and Bird had to throw up a prayer. It's an air ball. That defense away from the ball by Portland, exceptional. Porter dishes to Duckworth. 3-point Portland lead. Duckworth has 22.
Terry Porter has really come to life off the dribble. He's been down in the lane, finding people. And how about the switching of hands on that for that left-handed banger by Duckworth?
Porter with 8 assists. McHale pounding it into the lane. He's fouled, but the ball will go. Portland on an 11-2 run in the last 3 minutes. 3 steals this quarter. 7 Blazers as McHale will go to the free throw line.
We know that if they hit McHale will be double teamed. That will force someone to be wide open. McHale has been excellent in finding the free people. If you don't double team him, there is no way that Duckworth can prevent him from getting a high percentage shot.
difference in free throws in this game. Boston 9 of 11. Portland 17 of 27. It's a 1-point Blazer lead.
Well, it's interesting that Chris Ford has gone all of this time in the second half, you know, without Parrish. Whether Parrish got really hit on the bridge there and suspected or not.
Kersey now with 23 points. Blazers by 3.
Big possession here.
Brian Shaw on the penetration, fouled hard. Drexler back into the game for Danny Ainge.
That was a clothesline. That was a clothesline by Kersey. Kersey is not going to allow Brian Shaw to go down the lane. He beat his man off the dribble, and you'll see him. Now watch Kersey hunting. Watch him come into your picture on the left here now. There he is. There's no way that you're going to get that one up there.
Brian Shaw, his first game back since he injured his ankle against Portland last week, has 10 points.
What a great year. You know, he's averaging 14-7, but he's an 83% foul shooter, and he's done an excellent job. Kevin McHale hit the nail on the head. He should have been in the All-Star game. That's how everyone feels up in that New England area.
Portland up by 1, 3 minutes remaining in this game. Game of peaks and valleys. 10 seconds to shoot for the Blazers. Porter driving, trying to on Brian Shaw, who fenced him well. Duckworth with 2 seconds. Doesn't get it this time. Over the back. We have the whistle. It's going to be a foul on Portland and probably Duckworth.
And that's the penalty. Loose ball foul.
It is on Duckworth.
I give him his due. He was down in there. He knew the shot clock was running out. He ran an up and under, and he came back to his weak hand, which is his left hand. He almost made the shot. You never get exasperated at a player when he gets a foul in loose ball traffic when it's on your offensive board, because he's in there banging.
Bird can regain the Celtics lead. Bird looking for a triple-double tonight.
Ari's been out of the flow, Bob. Nothing has been easy for him in the last 5 minutes.
It's tied. Excuse me. Boston has the lead by 1. 97-96. That's 15 lead changes in this game. Drexler for 3. Rebound Shaw. Boston up by 1.
Two-man basketball, Bird and McHale.
Bird got Williams open, then dished it off to Shaw. Back out to Gamble. Couldn't get it. Shaw with a big board. And they foul him.
That was a big rebound by Shaw. But how about Shaw penetrating and getting down inside and then making the pass off? Now you watch this now as he gets down in there. He thinks someone's stepping up. No one stepped up. They stepped back, increasing the distance of the shot rather than getting a dunk.
Shaw missing the big free throw opportunity.
I remember, Bob, fatigue is a factor here with him. That time he shot that basketball as he was going back. He did not follow through.
Even that time he leaned back a little bit, but he hits it 1 out of 2. It's 98-96 Boston by 2. Kersey with the foul that time, and that's 4 on Jerome Kersey.
Big thing now. Portland, they need the movement. They're going to half-court plays now.
Bird goes for the steal.
Plenty of time. 10 seconds. Plenty of time.
Porter with the penetration. Big board by Duckworth. Can't hold on to the ball. Brian Shaw out-hustled for the ball by Williams, and then Gamble to Shaw to Lewis, who will pull it back out very wisely. Gamble very slow to get up on the far side of the court. Shaw, offensive foul.
Good call.
1:36 remaining in this game. Boston by 2.
Very, very good call. Chris Ford telling him right now, take your time, putting his hands out, pressing down to the floor. Take your time. Now, he just fouled out on that play. Now, you're going to see it right here. He has absolutely nothing. There's still plenty of time. See, boom. Good job by Porter that time. Took away the baseline. He had nothing.
So D. Brown will come back into the game, and Brian Shaw fouls out with 1:36 to go. Boston up by 2.
Chris Ford is milking his time allotted here.
One way is to draw the official into the conversation with him.
Well, what you're trying
Of course,
to
you
do,
know this as well as anybody in the game.
what you're trying to do is coach your team while you're pretending that you are making a major decision of who's going in the game. Like they had a lot of options.
Mercy. Well, spoken by the master. You just heard it right there from UB. 98-96.
High pick and roll.
Excellent defense by Boston. Now Drexler's going to try to get something off. Boston is there. Buck Williams misses. He goes back to it again, and Buck Williams doing what he does so very well. That is pound the boards.
What a great pass by Drexler, and then a sensational move by Buck Williams.
It's tied at 98. We have a minute to go.
Two-man. You need good spacing if they double.
5 seconds to shoot. Reggie Lewis in trouble.
And they're not going to get anything good here.
2 seconds. Bird launches up a prayer. Over the backboard, and it'll be Portland ball. 50 seconds.
Excellent defense by Portland. You have 50 seconds now on the clock. They did a terrific job because they double teamed, and when they made the pass out, McHale made the pass out, they were able to recover. Now, timeout-wise, Portland has 3 and a 20. Boston has 2 timeouts left.
Bad pass from Porter. McHale with the interception. And we're going to get a Boston timeout with 37.8 to go in the game. Tied at 98. We'll be right back to Memorial Coliseum.
Timeout, so they could move the ball a half court. So right now, the Celtics are in the back court. Now remember, you have 37 seconds here. If they shoot early, they could get another possession. That would force Portland, even if they milked out the 24 seconds. It'll be interesting to see here right now whether they go to two-man basketball or whether they play pick and roll.
10 seconds on the shot clock, 27 seconds in the game.
All right, they have Bird and McHale on the same side. They defended that perfectly.
5 to shoot. Reggie Lewis with a very difficult shot.
Bad shot.
17 seconds to go in the game. Timeout Portland. Now Portland called the timeout very quickly.
Right. Now, first of all, they will have the option. They can now move it to half court if they want to. Well, let's talk about that last play. Give Portland terrific credit. They defensed it perfectly. They did not allow the Celtics to play two-man when McHale on Parrott. So they forced them to reverse the basketball. Now just watch the excellent job that Drexler does here, and they step up to trap that. All right, now maybe Lewis could have made that pass. Now let's look at the situation. You are Portland right now. You are in excellent shape. You have a tie game. 17 seconds on the clock. You have 1/22 plus 2 timeouts. So no matter what the Celtics do defensively here, you can call a timeout and relieve the pressure. Now, a problem. Who's taking the ball in bounds for you? And always remember, the most dangerous guy in the NBA is the guy out of bounds. Portland is an excellent basketball team in showing you something on the side of the floor where they have the ball, but they are running either a double screen, a stagger screen on the opposite side of the floor. That's what they want in many cases. Now they have plenty of time. They can go to their pet stuff. They are in excellent shape because they have the timeouts available. Celtics situation right now, you cannot foul. Both teams are in the penalty. When the shot goes up, the most important thing that you do, 5 guys to the defensive board, you can call a timeout because you have 1 left, which would move it to half court.
Portland has gotten to this time because of their offensive rebounding, and also because they've hit the shots inside and on the break. 22 layups, 7 perimeter shots all night.
This has been a real bar burner, but give Portland their due. They've done an excellent job. Here. Now this is interesting. Portland is taking the ball out in the backcourt. They have that option. You can either move it or not. Now, here's Parrish back in the ball game. Why? Another shot blocker and then another excellent rebounder.
Now, turning, you see on the bottom right of the screen, time remaining in the game, tied at 98.
Here's Drexler. Now watch
Watch the screen on the other side. There it is.
Porter is open for the jumper. He doesn't get it to fall. That won't count. We have overtime. Boston's first overtime of the year.
That was the perfect example of Portland showing you a pick and roll on one side of the floor, and on the opposite side they ran a staggered screen for Terry Porter, wide open. Going to pass the ball to Drexler coming up here. They're going to fake a pick and roll, but keep your eye on Terry Porter. Terry Porter is going to run what we call like a little shuffle cut down inside. Now there is your staggered screen on the other side of the floor for Terry Porter. Look at that wide open shot. Excellent. That's good, solid half-court basketball, hoping that the defense will try to help out and they catch Brown. The toughest thing for a defender to defend against is a staggered screen.
Foul situation here. Brian Shaw fouled out for Boston. Nobody else on either team has more than 4. 5 minutes in overtime. Each team 3 timeouts. Portland first chance to score.
Playoff basketball. You must be able to execute your half-court offense.
10 to shoot for Portland. Drexler over Lewis. Lewis stayed at home there on Drexler. Great defensive job.
Got a piece of that, and that was not an air ball. He definitely took it right out of the hand of Drexler.
E. Brown running the show. The rookie from Jacksonville. Brian Shaw has fouled out.
Celtics are taking too long to get what they want out of their first option. Never mind their second or third.
McHale with 5 on the shot clock. Shaw not pretty, but 2 points for the Celtics, and they have the first lead in the overtime.
That's the first time since the second quarter we've seen E. Brown get down in there and then pitch out.
Porter takes the 3. It's a 1-point Portland lead.
That's his game. When they penetrate and kick out to him. He's having an excellent night. That's his 3rd.
Bird against Jerome Kersey. Now the double team and the beautiful pass to Lewis. He waited to get the defensive players airborne and draws the foul.
Very intelligent move by Lewis. On the catch of that basketball, his back was to the backboard. So he turned, pump fake, used his pump fake, had the defenders up in the air, and then made his move.
Buck Williams with a personal, only his second. It's tied at 101, 3:46 to go in the overtime. Bob Neal, Hubie Brown with you on our TNT Sunday night special.
Reggie having a sensational year. 18 a game, 85 on the foul line.
Boston by 2. We'd like to thank the Trailblazers and the Celtics for helping us arrange this special additional game we have for you on TNT. Foul on Reggie Lewis.
See, this is a tough call right here, Bob. I did not think that Drexler had anything. Reggie Lewis very upset. That's his 5th. And you're going to see, now we're going to show you the replay. Do you feel like Drexler is ahead of him? Now you'll see it right now. He's going to drop his shoulder and go right in, right there. See, he has nothing. But once again, you got an all-star player going against a good player with a nice reputation. And Reggie Lewis is on the road.
Yes, he is. Williams to the left. Oh, big bucket by Buck Williams. Portland goes up by 1. Williams has 13.
Very strong move.
Bird against Kersey again.
Kersey doing an excellent job on Bird.
Quick turnaround shot. Kersey commits the foul. That's his 5th.
See, he's been bumping Bird. You know, he's exasperating right there. Not only does he get to that, right, they call the foul, and then they also hit him with a technical. Of all things to have happen to you. Now you'll see how he's bumping Bird. Now he's been giving him a lot of trouble on that turnaround shot. See, Bird just knocked him right back. There it is right there. Now, did he get him? Sure he got him. He got him right down below. But in a game like this, you're getting banged at both ends of the floor. And sometimes if you're not consistent, you know, now, no excuse for that technical out. Jerome has been in this league. Come on, 3 on the clock. You cannot give Bird, you know, the opportunity to walk the line, knock one down. That's a freebie, a big freebie.
Bird with 3 free throws here.
Last year, Larry won the free throw percentage, 93%. He has won that award 4 times. got to pass the basketball.
All the way to Lewis with 9 on the shot clock. Big board by Buck Williams. Tipped out of bounds by Bryant. By D. Brown. What a game this rookie's played. Since he stepped in for the injured Brian Shaw, even though Shaw was back in this game, he just continues to grow as a player.
You know, Bob, I don't know how many guys would have chanced that.
I mean, that was a burst just to get his hands on that ball.
Speaking of young people on stars on the make, John Starks might have chanced it. With the inside to Drexler.
Plenty of time, 10 seconds.
Porter hit the big three. Drexler hits the big jumper. It's tied at 105. The go-to guards. Timeout, Boston. Boston has attempted until right then the last 13 free throws in this game. We'll be back. It's overtime. 2:16 to go. The Celtics tied with the Blazers at 105.
That says a lot. That's why these teams are the better teams in the league. They just don't lose at home. And the other factor, they do not lose to the teams that are under 500. An example, under 500, Boston, 31-5. Portland, 28-3. I'll give you an interesting one. Games decided by 6 points or less. Interesting. The Boston Celtics, 6-7. Interesting. That surprised me. And Portland, 11-5. They have that ability to win those close ones.
Tied at 105, down to the 2-minute mark. 5 seconds from now.
Two-man game.
Parrish. Double team comes. The Chief misses it, and the rebound goes to Duckworth. Under 2 minutes, tied at 105. Porter has it tipped away. 10 seconds to shoot. They'll set it up again. Kersey's open from 17 feet. Rebound right into the chest of Parrish. Bird calling for the ball from D. Brown and getting it. Pick from McHale. Into Parrish. He's fouled and we go to the line.
To me, when I was a coach, the toughest numbers in all of basketball, outside of Kareem's sweeping hook, right, was Robert Parrish posting up in the lane on the dotted line. You front him, they pass over your head. You play behind him, he catches it, and he turns.
Big miss at the line.
Tonight we've seen him miss on his foul shots. Totally uncharacteristic of Robert, a solid 78% shooter.
He gets one of them here, and Boston has the 1-point lead. A subpar performance for Robert Parrish. I jokingly said earlier, perhaps it's the Sports Illustrated cover jinx. Minute 15 to go in this game, and Porter tried to hit Drexler off his hand. Boston ball.
Very tough angle that time. Drexler did not have an opportunity to even catch that. The ball was thrown with such force.
Brian Shaw is fouled out of this game for Boston. Bird and Parrish with the two-man game.
Excellent hands by Kersey.
Duckworth diving for the ball, but it's out of bounds. 7 seconds on the shot clock for Boston. 56.4 in the game. Celtics up by 1 point. And they're going to call timeout. Boston.
Timeout, Boston.
Oh, the crowd is quiet here. Everybody on the edge of their seat. We'll take a commercial timeout. 56.4 to go in the game. 106-105 Celtics. Celtics have the 1-point lead. 56.4 to go in this ball game. We'll be following Boston into Utah, by the way, on Wednesday night. Note the unusual starting time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Celtics at Utah.
Hey, the Boston Celtics right now, you have 7 seconds on the shot clock. You have the ball on the side, and you only have 1 timeout to go. Now, Portland is in the penalty on their next foul. So look for something to go down inside. All right, now this is going to be interesting. You only have 7 seconds. You call a timeout, and anytime you do that, naturally, you always want to have the play work. Now, you know if the ball goes down inside to McHale, they're going to be all over him.
6 seconds, remember, on the shot clock. Now 4. Stripped away from Lewis. Drexler has Kersey with him. It looked like Kersey walked.
Yeah, he did.
No whistle against the hoop.
That was a terrific steal Drexler doing more than just scoring.
Now Portland by 1. Pick and roll, Bird way open. D. Brown hands it off to the Chief.
That's the first time he's done that. Duckworth stepped in. Excellent look by D. Brown.
What a game. 30 seconds remaining. And D. Brown came away with the ball. Porter tied him up for the jump. D. Brown just simply took that away off the double team.
Big jump here right now.
Remember, D. Brown won the dunk contest this
Long arms. Now you're sitting here. Boston has 1 timeout. Portland has 3 and a 20.
Celtics up by 1. 25-2 to go in the overtime. Porter not a great jumper.
Big possession.
Great Brown tipped it to Bird, who got it to Lewis.
How about Bird? What a great hit that was.
And the foul on D. Brown from Terry Porter with 16.6 remaining. Boston up by 1.
That's okay. You have to do that. All right. You have 16.6 seconds on the clock. You had to foul. You're putting a guy on the line who has not been there any number of times tonight. Even though you know that he's a good foul shooter, you cannot risk the clock going off. Right? Running time. Precious seconds.
Brown, an 86% free throw shooter, hits the first one. 2-point Boston lead. This one is huge.
Now remember, Portland, 3 timeouts and a 20.
Brown gets them both. D. Brown has 10 points in this game, and what a spectacular performance by the rookie. Remember, starting point guard Brian Shaw, back off his ankle injury, fouled out of this game.
All right, now you're Portland. You're sitting on 16 seconds. Do you need a 3-point shot? The answer is no. You can take the ball. You're going to move it to half court right now. If the Celtics play you loose, a lot of clubs in this league have a play that they can get a good shot going to the basket within 2 or 3 seconds. If you do that and you score quickly, you put the full court press on. Now, I know that the Celtics still can call timeout. They have 1 left. But you will still force them to do that. And then the Celtics would have to make a decision. Do they take it out at the end of the floor, or do they move the ball to half court? See, there's a lot of strategy going on right now in both huddles. All right, the main thing is you are looking for a quick 2. Inbound, you don't make a steal, foul. Now, you do have outstanding 3-point shooters in Portland. Now let's look at the other side. All right, now you are the Boston Celtics. You are up 3 on the road, and you have a situation where you are going to switch on every ball cross. You are not going to allow them a open shot. So anytime that there is a pick, you will switch so that no player will be free for a 3-point shot. Now remember, in this situation, the most dangerous guy to shoot a 3 is the player from out of bounds. You can see this is an outstanding 3-point shooting team. Now, the key to Boston, they have a foul to give, and they can let you run around here a little bit and then foul you and force you to take the ball out again. Now, they have Danny Ainge is in here right now along with Porter, so you have 2 guys who shoot 40%, plus you also have Drexler, who is excellent also under pressure.
And they're going to sit McHale down and get Gamble in here, so Gamble can come up on Ainge.
Quickness.
Porter open for the 3s, 4 of 7 tonight. Not this time.
Long rebounds.
Bird fouls Jerome Kersey with 10.7 seconds to go.
Smart. Now this forces Portland now to set up on the side. All right, now they're going to call a timeout. They have plenty of timeouts here. All right, so now excellent foul by Bird. Anytime that a team shoots a 3, the ball usually rebounds long. You're telling your team, the Boston Celtics, if they get a 3-point shot off, you must rebound those balls out by the foul line and 15 feet out. You cannot get caught down inside because the ball will rebound long. And that's exactly what happened in that possession. Now, how did Terry Porter get open? Well, all we had was a simple screen, and the Celtics did not switch
and D. Brown had to fight through that screen. I was stunned that Porter was wide open.
You expected the switch. Boston bench, by the way, has 31 points tonight. That's been the difference in terms of Boston getting the lead in this ball game. They lead it by 3 in overtime with 10.7 seconds remaining in the overtime at Portland. Look at the difference in the bench, 31 to 4.
All right, you're Portland now. You take the ball out on the side. You still have a 20-second if you do not like the inbounds pass. You also have a regular timeout. Now, if you shoot and miss, teams usually will rotate 4 guys to definite spot-up places. The rebounder, if he gets it, just turns and throws the ball right back out. They cannot fool around here now. They've allowed 6 seconds to go off the clock, so 2 to them is not a good weapon.
Now McHale comes back out on the floor, by the way, for Boston. It'll be Lewis, Gamble, D. Brown, Bird, and McHale. 10.7 seconds remaining. Bird committed the foul. The Celtics had a foul to give, so it'll be inbounded by Portland. Duckworth, Porter, Drexler, Kersey, and Ainge on the floor for the Blazers. Blazers have won the last 4 meetings between these two teams. Porter, the quick turnaround. Doesn't get it. Rebound, Ainge. Loose ball foul.
Good call.
With 6.8, it's going to go on Boston, so this time Ainge will go to the line. But remember, it's a 3-point Boston lead and 6.8 seconds remaining in the game.
All right, now you have Danny Ainge going to the line. Now comes at all clinics. You get the situation. You make the first, put you down 2. Now, what kind of a play do you have where you miss the second foul shot and then try for the offensive rebound, okay, to get a 2-point shot? Or with 6.8 seconds, do you make both foul shots, let them inbounded foul immediately, or let them call a timeout and take the ball to half court?
Ainge calls a 20 for Portland to discuss just that situation that you're talking about.
Absolutely. So you see, this is not a clear-cut decision, right? Because you can play this both ways if you have great confidence in your defense. Now remember, Portland still has 1 timeout to go. That's why you still could do that other thing. Make it, try for the steal, if not foul. Now you don't like that. You don't want to risk that. That's 2 chances, 6.8 seconds. Well, now you got to show me your play. And there are any number of ways of getting 2 guys from the top of the circle down the lane. There's also having guys out wide, foul line extended, coming in on the baseline side. There's many ways of shooting and missing. The key is you've got to loop somebody to get the rebound, and then you go for your shot.
Wouldn't hurt to have Dr. J there, you may recall.
Well, I do remember a situation like that. Yes, the doctors flew in from the 2nd tier. Yes.
Philadelphia, Atlanta. What year was that?
Philadelphia, Atlanta. That goes back a long time. That was 1980.
Off a Doug Collins miss. Free throw.
Yeah, that was deliberate. Let's see what they do here now.
Ainge gets the throw.
Okay, now here it is. Now this is it. See, this is not so foolish. You got to get some better than that. All right.
Now there's 5.3 seconds remaining, and Reggie Lewis will go to the free throw line, and Reggie Lewis is an 85% free throw shooter.
Okay. Now, for all you guys who are sitting out there in your armchairs with your beer and your sandwich, all right, you did not like that idea. A lot of you said, "Hey, I've got my play. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to do my trick stuff, and we're going to get the offensive rebound." Now, this team, they said, "Hey, we have a lot of confidence that we are going to force you to make the pass. We're going to foul you right away." This puts tremendous pressure on Lewis to make 2. You're only up 1, and you still have a timeout.
5.3 to go. Lewis 2 for 2 tonight. Misses this one. It's a 1-point Boston lead, 110-109. This one's huge. And then it's still a 2-point game and 5.3 to go to send it into the second overtime. We're down 3 and winning. Wow. Lewis gets this one. It's a 2-point game. Timeout, Portland. And we're going to take a commercial break here. Oh my, 5.3 to go, 2-point game.
5 seconds, a lifetime in the NBA.
Last left you. Hubie Brown was saying 5.3 seconds is a lifetime in the NBA. The Blazers think it's less than a millisecond, of course, because they've got to score to try to send it into the second overtime, or of course a three-pointer would win it, 111-109. So what are the Blazers going to try to do here? Obviously get the quickest way to score.
Right. The first thing in the Celtics, they've got to put a ton of pressure on the guy out of bounds so that he does not make a direct pass, that he is forced under duress here to make this pass. Okay, now you look at Portland. They can hit any number guy out there. They have 4 guys who all can put the ball down on the floor. What you must be careful of in this situation is whoever catches the ball, that if he beats you off the dribble and the defense rotates, that they don't kick it out and somebody's standing there for a wide open shot.
Now McHale is going to windmill in front of Danny Ainge. This is going to be a very difficult inbound pass.
Absolutely. See, Ainge, was he on that halftime thing about the guys who were always complaining? He didn't even give a second. He was complaining that McHale moved up on him.
Ainge and McHale, very close friends, golfing buddies, etc., except for right now.
McHale should do it again. McHale should do it again. All right, plenty of time right here.
Drexler launches the three. No. Boston holds on to win by 2, snapping the 4-game Portland win streak over the Celtics, and each team has won at the other's gym in this game, and this could be a preview of the NBA Finals this year. Portland loses to Boston 111-109 in overtime. A beautiful basketball on our Sunday night special. And now let's go to Ernie Johnson in at Boston. Plays their first overtime game of the year and gets their first win of the year, 111-109 over Portland. After just a week ago, the Trailblazers had gone into Boston Garden and stolen a game from Boston in their hometown. Boston does likewise here. Several key factors in this game. One, now with the loss, LA is now within 2 games of Portland in the Pacific Division. Boston with a big win, first team in the league to get to 46 games, and Boston bench comes up with 31 points to only 4 for Portland. But from your view, the keys to this game, particularly late in it?
The half-court defense in the last 30 seconds by the Celtics, just terrific, rose to the occasion. D. Brown, critical jump ball, wins the tap over Terry Porter, and then at the opposite end of the floor makes a key penetration pass to Parrish. A lot of credit must go to the Boston bench. Pinckney and D. Brown and McHale played solid for them, gave them a major shot in the arm when guys were either in foul trouble or they were struggling.
Now, Portland was in a losing streak before they won in Boston. Has the week off. Portland comes right out here and opens up their new playing schedule with the loss to Boston. Are they in a little bit of trouble, the Portland Trailblazers, even though coming into this game they had the best record in the NBA?
No, when you think about it, who did they lose to? 2 games to San Antonio, 1 at Atlanta, 1 at Philadelphia, and then 1 here to an outstanding basketball team. So, you know, they're not losing to teams that are chopped liver. This is an excellent basketball team that can play anyway, and all they have to do is just get in the sync. They had plenty of opportunities to win this game. This game was up in the air.
And Boston making the statement that they, yes, are a very good road team. 18-11 on the road for Boston. Hubie, you talked about D. Brown. He is our Budweiser player of the game.
Made it happen.
10 points, 11 assists, 2 steals, and a great big jump ball toward the end of the game. Be sure to stay with TNT now as NBA action continues. We'll follow these Boston Celtics into Salt Lake City in the Salt Palace versus Utah on Wednesday. And note the unusual starting time of 9 o'clock Eastern Time. For Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Portland, Oregon.